Texans are still coming to terms with all of that destruction left in the wake of Hurricane Harvey, and now Hurricane Irma poses that serious threat to Florida. So while we don't have to worry about hurricanes here in the tri-state, Simply Money's Amy Wagner says there are another important reason, well, there is another important reason to essentially take a look at your homeowner's policy. And I was thinking, kind of as I was reading that in our case, in my specific case, when we bought our house, they said get earthquake insurance.
Absolutely.
As a #1 priority. And I thought, we live in Cincinnati.
We do, but we're sort of close to that New Madrid fault that runs through St. Louis.
Yeah.
We're close enough that we would feel it. And it is really easy to look at these images of Harvey and what's coming in for Irma and think, thank goodness I don't live on a coast.
Sure.
But this should actually be a wake-up call to most of us to take another look at our insurance policy and see if we're really covered, because we do. We have the issue of being near an earthquake zone, but also tornadoes happen frequently around here. And this is not a great stat, but Ohio is in the top 5 states for house fires. So these are all things that could completely wipe you out in a heartbeat, which is why you need to think about this. Now, a recent study just found that 1 in 4 American families are grossly underinsured when it comes to their house, meaning if they had a fire or something, they don't even have 80% of the cost that it would take to replace that house covered in their insurance policy. So you need to start thinking about, okay, what do I need to do? And there's a couple of reasons why this happens. First of all, and this is something that you've done, you buy a house and then through the years you update it. You guys have redone your kitchen.
Yeah.
As you make these updates, finishing the basement, redoing the kitchen, adding things to the yard, are you redoing the insurance policy? Because the value of your home is going up with those updates. And we also accumulate lots of stuff through the years, the stuff inside our house. Is that adequately insured? These are all questions you need to be asking yourself. Another issue I think that people have when it comes to insurance is you think about what the value of your house is, right? The property value, whatever Zillow or whatever it is says your house is worth. But the cost of building a house has gone up over the past few years. Lumber costs, concrete, all of those things, steel, the cost of those have gone up. So if you have a $250,000 house, it's actually going to cost much more than that now to replace it because of the cost of those materials.
Makes sense.
You need to be thinking about those things. And then a final thing to consider when it comes to your insurance is if you're renting a house or an apartment, or maybe your children are, do you have renter's insurance? It is so cheap. How many fires have you covered in apartment buildings?
I know.
And they're heartbreaking because nobody has insurance. If you do not have that kind of insurance, look into it now. What you really need to do is flip how you think about your insurance. Rather than calling your insurance agent and saying, what's the least I can get by with? You need to be asking, do I have enough coverage that I can replace what my family has gathered through the years? So that's what you need to be thinking about.
We appreciate it. And Amy always says, too, take pictures.
Yes, absolutely. Because I've had friends who honestly have gone through this and you cannot remember all of the things. So you have to have great documentation of what you have in your house. And then the Simply Money points this week, or the tip of the week, is this is actually a great time to go on a cruise. September is, of course, when cruise lines cut the cost because it's hurricane season. So if you are going to book one of those cruises, make sure you also look into travel insurance. You cannot get travel insurance after a storm has been named.